Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to PyroFalkon's Let's Play Extravaganza, where it's your Let's Play 2. We are back to playing Evil Genius. This episode may be coming out one day after the previous one, but you may want to give me a little love if you look at the title cards. But suffice to say, it's been a little while since I played. However, I've done a bunch of grinding. You can see we have $3.6 million active. And one of the cool things about the game is your little minions have to actually collect the money. It just doesn't transfer into your account. So in fact, when you build your base, it's usually a good strategy to keep your stronghold relatively close to your front entrance, so your people don't take freaking forever to get the money over there. However, the closer it is to the entrance, the bigger the chance some do-good bastard is going to see it and blow the whistle on you. So I keep it a little deep in my base. So we have 3.7 million because we have 36 minions, 35 of whom have been stealing for several hours. And again, I just want to point out that none of this is actually required. This is just kind of a little cheat that we do to get the game going. 3.7 million is generally enough for me to get about halfway through the game before I need to grind again. I think it usually takes me about 8 to 9 million to beat the game, but whatever. We're just enjoying ourselves. And by mousing over here, we see we have 84 briefcases full of money at the depot, and our little guys will be emptying that out as we go along. Now, real quick, while the team comes back, you can see the heat meter in the top right corner. This is how much the cops and the different spies and whoever are after me. Now, until we do the next story mission, no one will come after us, which is good because as I'm mousing over the Middle East here, you see that the Smash Agency has maximum heat on us. They would be sending everybody in the world after us to beat the shit out of us if, in fact, we had that active, which we do not. So, we're going to get everybody back home safe and sound, and we're going to dump the money into our stronghold, and then we will continue the mission. I'm trying to see if I need to build anything in the process. I believe I can't build... Oh, I can. I need an armory, and for that matter, I need a power plant. So, we are going to build those buildings real quick. Power plants are, of course, extremely useful and necessary in this game because everything requires power. And power tends to be extremely expensive in this game. I'm putting that in the wrong spot. But, so you want to build your bases a little intelligently because, as I said, the closer you put stuff to the entrance, the easier it will be for the agents of good to come and blow up your shit and generally wreck your day. But the deeper you put it, the more irritating it will be for your peeps, too. And so I always try to have a balance between accessibility and security. So I am going to do this. Gonna alter the room to get rid of this, and that still gives me a bit of room to expand as necessary to expand the power plant. If you know what, in fact, because I keep everything overly organized sometimes, we're actually gonna pull this up. Because that way, eventually, we can make a path go this way. I'm not actually going to keep that like that, but... I tend to overly plan whenever I play games. SimCity, I did this kind of thing in, and... you know, I like blueprint options. I like Prison Architect for the same reason, because with Prison Architect, there's actually an option that you can paint a plan on the ground, so to speak, so you can see what you're doing. And this should be pretty good. And then we can also get some capacitors. This will... Yes, thank you, Lady Voice. That will give us some batteries in case we do run out of power. Hopefully we don't need them. Now, one of the things that I do a little different with my bases, just in case you're playing for tips, is I don't put doors on most of my buildings, or my rooms. Now, obviously, I have doors to the closest rooms here, and I have doors to some of the inner important areas. But the way I see things, if we have an agent get so far to the control room that they're untouched, I have bigger problems to worry about than them breaking into a door. Because usually the way the agents of good work, they are totally innocent and don't do anything until they see something incriminating. So when we will have a guy come in and he'll start checking out the base, he actually won't get upset with anything in this room. It's just lockers and a few beds. But if he manages to get all the way to the power room, then he's gone through the control room, which is highly incriminating, and all of our gold stash, which is even more incriminating. So hopefully we don't have any do-gooders get even this far into our base. We'll be setting up traps as we go along to make sure they don't. As I said, the game will get very interesting in a hurry. We just have to get through the first few missions. I sort of wish there was an option in this game that you could skip the first 5 or 6 about 3 story missions, just so you can get into the meat of it pretty quick, but whatever. You guys have patience, and plus, we have the aid of time skip if things ever start to really lag. Right now, we have 4.7 million as everyone is continuing to run through and cash in those briefcases. Are we done pulling everything out yet? Depot is empty. Good. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is build our power plant, and then once that gets done, we can just do these orders now. In fact, we will place an armory. You know what? I'm going to place it here. And the armory is also our security center. So, although we can't access the security options yet, but we're going to place a couple holding cells and a time clock. And I will, again, this is how I usually play. I make a big room that I don't do everything with, just to plan some stuff, and then I'll close it up like that. And now, once we unlock some more objects for the room, which we will do very soon, I can expand this room and add those objects. Let's pause that until we get this stuff going. Because since basically everything in this game takes some power, that includes the holding cells and even doors. So I'm going to tell my girl here, or I already have told my girl, to prioritize. I like her little clap. She just claps and this thing starts glowing, which means it's now prioritized to happen. I actually like Shen's way he prioritizes a room because he kind of does an arm flail. It looks like he's throwing a tantrum. It's adorable. This game has a lot of adorable to it. So while our people take care of that, let's check our heat level. See, heat dissipates over time. It's still extremely high. Like, it is so high that if I trigger the next story mission now, Smash is going to send so many agents after me that I won't be able to control it. Eventually, you can control even really bad heat, but this early in the game, you can't. All of our workers suck. We are aided by having 0 notoriety. The notoriety is how much the world knows you, and we are 0. Nobody knows who the hell we are, which is great. The combination of your notoriety and your heat is what agents are sent after you. So if you have really high notoriety and really high heat, you're getting nothing but veteran armies after you, and you just cannot control the situation. So I am making sure that shit is not going to happen yet. Whoa. My mouse is acting a little wonky, probably because I'm recording. Now, I usually don't have this many minions this early. I don't know if this is going to help me in the long run or just tax me. If it bothers me, I'm going to start destroying these lockers, selling them off, getting a little bit of money back, and then it reduces the number of minions we have, but we have a little bit more room in here, and because the minions have to rest somewhere. We don't want them being too exhausted. So we are just going to sit back, relax, and hopefully... Okay, go tell them to get this done, lady. There is no time adjustment in this game, which is one of the things that a lot of critics and, gamers didn't like about this game when it first came out. There is a lot of waiting around, and if you don't know what you're doing, or even if you do know what you're doing, there are times when the game has a lot of, how do I put it, like... ebbs and flows. Like, there will be times where you're just sitting here grinding away, waiting for things, followed by a bunch of action, followed by waiting. You know, time controls would have alleviated that a little bit, but things go really wrong really fast in this game, so I don't mind it so much. This is what I tend to call a background game, where I usually play it while I'm playing something else. You know, it's easy to play an MMO while having this in the background, grinding some money away, and then if something exciting happens, I can just get to a safe spot in the MMO and do something about it, you know, because I multitask. Anyway, if this goes too much longer, I will time skip. Okay, it seems that everybody's coming in with their boxes, so I'm going to unpause that, and we'll have our girl prioritize that, and I'm going to keep an eye on that heat level. It's not... Ugh, I'm like scared to take the next step. I play this game really wussy. I play very conservatively, partly because, like I said, this game does go wrong very, very quickly, or it can go wrong very, very quickly. So I've learned the hard way that if you play too hard too fast, you wind up in a no-win situation. What are you two morons doing in the power room? Do you guys just not know how to put those things down? Okay, now it's your turn. There you go. There you go. What's your name? Who are you? Winston Russell? Well, you displease me, Winston Russell. So we're going to wait until Winston Russell gets his ass in here. We're going to wait until Winston Russell gets his ass in here. We're going to wait until... Okay, and then we're going to murder him in front of everybody.
And so are you.
Believe it or not, this actually helps. Everybody who's witnessing this act... Wow, that was kind of fucked up. Everyone who witnesses that act gains more loyalty and attention around me temporarily, but it keeps them sharp. They know not to displease me. I am Alexis, damn it. My orders will be followed. To the letter, and quickly. How are we doing on heat? That's not bad. Shang's special ability is that his heat dissipates a little faster than normal, and it takes other people longer, or it takes the forces of good longer to respond to him. So he's a real he's like the pro. When you have him, you're kind of, it's not exactly easy mode, but it lets you move a little faster as long as you're careful and you pace yourself correctly. You can still move faster than the other two characters, but his downside, as you can see here, Alexis's radius is where she can affect all the minions around her, and Sheng's radius, if Sheng was standing in the exact spot Alexis is, she would be, like, Sheng's radius would barely cover these four. He may not even cover those four. So I prefer Alexis for that reason, because Alexis can just stand in the middle of the control room or wherever the minions happen to be resting and make sure everybody is nice, loyal, and attentive, so we don't have to capture them and we don't have to repeatedly punch them in the face. As fun as that is. Come on, dude. Hurry up with the thing. Thank you. Alright, so I'm tempted to take a risk and do this anyway, because having zero notoriety means that Smash probably won't respond so hard that I wind up in a no-win situation. So, oh, we can't do anything anyway. I have to wait until the holding cells are built. Never mind. So the mission is we have to capture this maid who's walking around, and that it will introduce us to the class system of your minions in this game. And I'm hoping to do that before I end this episode, which I was planning on only having run for 15 minutes, but it looks like I'm going to have to do 20 for this game. Did not anticipate that. There is a lot of there's a lot of times, like I said in Evil Genius, where not a lot happens given how much time you are... I forgot to turn off Facebook. Anyway, there's a lot of times in... Evil Genius that you're sitting around doing nothing. Kind of sucks, but you know what? I'm okay with that. It was one reason why the game kind of got mixed reviews. I think even IGN gave it in the mid-7s. It didn't really set the world on fire, which makes me sad because I always wanted a sequel and it'll probably never happen, although I would kickstart the shit out of it if it did. So, you know, whatever. But it's one of those games to me that, you know, you can play for hours and your time will just disappear, and it just, well, it just disappears. And you blink and then it's 5 hours later and you've made this huge-ass base and you've taken over a bunch of stuff. All right, come on, guys. Build that holding cell. Who's got the boxes? Do any of you have the boxes? There's a pile of minions in the little armory because they're just hanging out with nothing to do. Don't worry, guys. We will have things for you to do as soon as someone gets their ass in gear. And frickin'... Okay, yes. I mean to go... How do I do it? There it is. There he is. That's our minion who has the box. I wish you guys could run faster sometimes. And yet, I know myself, and that in about an hour worth of gameplay, I'm going to be wishing everyone would slow the hell down for a minute so I could think. There is a pause button, but there are no time controls. For better or for worse. Okay. Go ahead and move out of the way, Alexis. All right. And here come our holding cells. Sweet. And a time clock. Excellent. Okay. And now we are going to... I may as well just make these episodes 20 minutes. Most of you guys want longer episodes on my channel anyway, so... You know, you can have them. Alright, there's our girl. So we flag her to be captured. And we can... The only people we directly control are the super henchmen and ourselves. But Alexis can't do anything other than murder her own forces. So she doesn't get her hands dirty, you know? She's an evil genius. She's not gonna do the grunt work. So I just sent Eli after the maid, but if one of these other dudes sees her first, then they will engage her. This asshole's back is to her, so he doesn't even know I flagged her. Come on, Eli. Wait. We'll do that first. There we go. Now that power calls all the minions around to follow Eli. So now they will all get her. Yes, beat up the helpless lady. That's how we do at PyroFalkon's Let's Play Extra. Alright. Well, that was easy enough. Alright. I'm gonna pick her ass up. Like a cat. I'm going to bring her into the holding cell. And then once she's in there, I believe it will unlock my next... Why are people dying in here? Oh, they're tired. Right. That's why I wondered if I needed all of these things. I mean, it'll be best in the long run to have all of these lockers, just so I have the numbers for a while. But everybody will get a little tired. I'm going to help them out and build another barracks. This is not something I would normally do. But this won't take up that much money. Okay, and then we do this. And we build a door. And you guys can do that at your leisure. So we are just waiting. I'm going to time skip here since I'm running close to 20. I'll time skip until we get to interrogate the maid. One moment. Okay, we've bought ourselves an interrogation chair, so now I just give the order to have our prisoner interrogated, and it just grabs the closest minion to do it, which is apparently this dude, Roger Meyer. Hi, buddy. Yes, thank you for saluting me, but seriously, go do your job. So, like I said, this will introduce you to the class system. We're going to bring our girl over here, our prisoner. I love the animations. So now, over the course of a few seconds, our worker minion here is learning how to be a maid, or specifically a valet. This will just take a few seconds, but she's transferring all of her knowledge on being subservient and cleaning up and... I don't know if torturing her that way is going to help you. That might just give her a grade 4 concussion. Okay, that should be it. She dies. And we have ourselves a valet. Alright, and now the main game has started. We get a security camera. We've got ourselves a training room. We have a security desk. We have a new storyline objective. We will have a busy day tomorrow. Yep, training room, okay. Anything else unlocking? Handgun cabinets, that's awesome. We can start playing with the alert functions. All right, so the real game will start. Nice, a mess hall too. Anyway, the real game starts tomorrow. So just tune in tomorrow and you will get to see how we start to conquer the world. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you tomorrow for another one.